What is up, guys? Red Ranger 02 here, and I am here for a game review, actually. Like I said at the very beginning, it's me basically kind of talking about games and stuff. And I'm going to move this lamp a little bit closer, which is just a lamp that we usually have out in our living room. But I bought it in here, so maybe it could help out the lighting. And it is a little bit, but not a whole lot. Maybe if I move it over here. Do something. Oh yeah, that's definitely, if I get it a little closer. Yeah, that's definitely working out. But anyway, I said at the very beginning, whenever I did my very first game review, that it's basically me talking about games and stuff that I happen to enjoy, and so it's essentially me going to be talking about that kind of stuff and, well, doing small videos on it, talking about games that could possibly happen, and that is what this one is today. For within here, this is not the same one that had all my drawings and stuff in it. This is a whole another one. But within here is a top 10 list that I made a while back of top 10 video game characters, well, top 10 characters that should have their own video games. Now, they had to have at least been featured in at least one video game, in order to make it on this list. I think, so they had to have been on here for them to be mentioned. If they weren't video game, then they didn't make it on this list. But at number 10 for me is Fulgore from Killer Instinct, or Black Eagle from Killer Instinct, who is the brother of Chief Thunder, who basically ended up making Fulgore work. Now, Fulgore, if you guys have never played Killer Instinct before, was a cyborg made by Ultratech. And is still today one of my favorite characters in Killer Instincts. But one thing I really wanted to see, and I see that a potential like this in a lot of fighting games. If you centered it around one character, an actual free roam game, much like Saints Row or GTA, heck, even Assassin's Creed, something like that. And I see the potential with that for Fulgore. Now, the reason I say Black Eagle is kind of like inspiration from the second and third Fable games. I'm not sure about anything afterwards. I haven't played anything after the third Fable game. Is that you get to choose who you play as at the beginning, either the guy or the girl. And for this, you would get the choice of Fulgore or Black Eagle. So you would either work for Ultratech, or you'd be trying to fight against Fulgore, and you could get different endings for each character. And so, like, maybe you say there's 3 different endings for Fulgore, there's 3 different endings for Black Eagle, all of them unique. And I feel like just with how he fights, his quad plasma claws, his different abilities, that it can make a really fun kind of beat-em-up game, almost in the style of Deadpool. In fact, if the creators of Deadpool were to make a game based around Fulgore and Black Eagle, that would be awesome. Now, number 9 on the list is actually another character from a fighting game, as a matter of fact, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Now, Scorpion is a powerful guy, no doubt about that. But I feel like he could definitely work in his own free roam adventure style game. Starting off before he became basically the ninja from hell. He could end up, you could play as him and basically defend the Shiai Ryu for a while, and then eventually you would become Scorpion. There's a lot of stealth and everything aspects that could go into it, and once you become Scorpion, even more aspects. Say you're hiding behind something, and it's just like, oh, well, I need to get into there, but there's 2 guys standing guard. But if I silent kill him, then they won't notice, so I need to do something that way they noticed, but I don't trigger everyone around me. But I don't get the attention of them and, like, they call an emergency. So what he could do is use his flaming flame abilities and rise a column of flames right up underneath the guy. They'd be freaked out. They go and check it to see what's going on. He could sneak into the place undetected. Now, number 8 is Scarlet Spider from Spider-Man, and he's been featured several different ways, mostly though in costumes. Now, I know that's a bit of kind of cheat, but hey, what you gonna do? But essentially, Scarlet Spider is the clone of Spider-Man, named Ben Reilly, taking on the name of Peter Parker's Uncle Ben and the maiden name of his Aunt May. Before she became May Parker, she was May Reilly. And he just seems pretty obvious. He's basically the clone of Spider-Man, so it'd be like the Amazing Spider-Man games or any of the Spider-Man games in the past. However, what I would like to see is the world from the animated series that Scarlet Spider was from, where Peter Parker basically went insane because there was a possibility that Peter Parker was indeed the clone and not Ben Reilly. And so he becomes Spider Carnage and all of that, and there's a very destructive world. I'd like to see a world like that where you basically have to get the people back on your side. You basically are the Scarlet Spider trying to get people back on your side. Or heck, even the whole, like, Scarlet Spider has to take over for Spider-Man thing for a few months after incident with Doc Ock, I think it was. Now, at number 7... Elektra. Now, she's been in a couple different of the Ultimate Alliance games, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there was a Daredevil game that she was in. But Elektra is essentially from the Daredevil universe, or the Marvel universe, and she's an assassin. Now, that would be open up for a lot of stealth possibilities, as well as a beat-em-up style game, because not only is she very, stealthy, but she is very good at what she does in beating up all these other guys. And she can go toe-to-toe with Bullseye. Now, that's no joke right there. Her fights were very fun in Ultimate Alliance. Playing as her was a lot of fun. And I'd like to see a game where you just basically had all those abilities in, a free roam style game, just centered around her, though. What do you guys think? Let me know about these games, in the comments down below. Now, at number 6, Slade from Injustice. Now, you can play as Slade in mods and... Are you serious? My lamp went out. Now, you can play as Slade in Injustice, and there's even mods out there, or not mods, DLC, for Arkham Knight, I'm pretty sure, where you can play as Slade, or Deathstroke, if you prefer. I kind of would like to see it as, an actual origin story, starting off and then becoming this more powerful, killer, this assassin. Even fighting Batman and a couple things, maybe even doing so close to doing an origin story and tying it in with the Arkham games, so you actually get the fight between Batman and Deathstroke from the Arkham Origins game. Let me know what you guys think. And number 5, and this one kind of seems obvious, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. Noir Spider-Man. Now, if you guys don't know, Noir Spider-Man is from the Noir universe, and it is very dark. It is definitely darker than the normal Spider-Man, which can get pretty dark already. Rather than it being a radioactive spider that bites him, though, it's a spider that's from the Spider Queen herself, Arachnia or something like that, and he gains the powers of the spider. And he basically becomes this all-encompassed dark Spider-Man. Black pants, black boots, black leather vest, leather mask, aviator goggles. Just all in this dark clothing, making him the most stealthy of all the other Spider-Men. His webs are not as strong though, but he still uses them to an advantage. And another thing is that, unlike any other Spider-Man, he's not afraid to use a gun. In fact, he has used a gun several times in the comics. And that could make for a really good free roam game, and you could even do an Assassin's Creed style thing, because he was known, like, if he didn't want to get caught, he had a leather trench coat, and then he had a hat on top, had like a black fedora on top. You could do that, go around looking like a normal guy, just kind of like looking down, looking normal, and then ba-da-da-da-da, Noir Spider-Man. Let me know what you guys think. At number 4, Vision. Now, this was actually not my idea, that was just kind of my brother's. Now, Vision, I don't think would work as well, but who might work a little bit better than Vision? Doctor Strange. There's the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out, and I would like to see Doctor Strange actually have his own game where you possess the different powers and everything. And much like the others, maybe it's an origin story, or maybe it's kind of like a flash back and forth type game. Almost kind of like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Like I said, it's been a while since I played Brotherhood, but I'm pretty sure you kind of like hopped between Ezio and Altair. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Like I said, been a while since I played Brotherhood. Don't even own the game anymore, because I couldn't beat it. And not because it was difficult, because it messes with my head way too much. What the frick? And moving on, speaking of which, for number 3, Subject 16. Now, Desmond was Subject 17. Now, we get to kind of see what was happening with Subject 16. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. We got to see what was happening with him. What if we actually got to see what happened to him before the first Assassin's Creed game, whenever he was the original subject? And maybe even afterwards, kind of like how he is in Brotherhood, like almost an astral spirit trapped within the Animus or something like that. Basically going in and control, basically going in, seeing all of his different assassins, and even like making some sense more of the other games, some confusion, and making his role basically seem a lot more important. At number 2, Spider-Woman. Now, Spider-Woman was indeed like either this was like I think in the most recent version, don't quote me on this, she's the daughter of Spider-Man, and so she basically teaches him he teaches her everything that he is able to do, and he gives her her powers. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory, make it like another Spider-Man game, but this time with the Spider-Woman origin story, and kind of keep it like that. But for number 1, Dick Grayson. Dick has had a lot of Dick Grayson, either Robin or Nightwing. Give us a freaking Dick Grayson game, or like all the Arkham games are fun. I have played up to, and I played all the Arkham games. I haven't played a whole lot of Arkham Knight, but I have played enough to know that it's a freaking awesome game. Guys, give us a freaking Dick Grayson game. Start him off as Robin, evolve into Nightwing, and heck, even do the thing that happens in the storyline. Evolve him from freaking Robin, Nightwing, Batman. He indeed takes Bruce's place for quite a freaking while, and it is freaking awesome. Give us a Dick Grayson game already. Make it in the style of Arkham Knight or Arkham City even, and just go with it. Make it a fun and fantastic experience. Heck, even if you want to, when he becomes Batman, or even when he doesn't, have the thing happen from the Red Hood movie. Have Dick Grayson team up with Batman, and they try and go and find Tim Drake. Give me a second. But have that kind of stuff happen. That is what will make a good game. That is what will sell. That is something that needs to be a thing. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, and if this is your first video on my watching, why not subscribe? And I'll see all you dudes in the next video. Power down!